This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
There's a certain comfort in seeing games like this, but it's only because I am comforted by disappointment. Mariners lose 5-1. They lose the first game of their 3-game series. Hello, my name is Chris Crawford. I am solo dolo today, as it says in the beginning, and that is because it is our buddy Anderson Hurst's birthday party. Well, I guess it's a party. You can still go celebrate, even after this very disappointing Mariners effort. But my name is Chris Crawford. We're going to recap today's game as we do after every single Seattle Mariner game. For those of you who are wondering, hey, where's Ty? Hey, where's Colby? Well, no, they get the better time slot. They get to do this, at the time that isn't, what time is it now? Like 9:20, something like that. Nope, they get the cushy job. And my job is to talk to you about this crappy Mariners game. Before we do, I do want to remind everyone, and there's a link in the description, Ty and Colby have started their Feeding America fundraiser. Please donate. It's an awesome cause. It's great that they do this every year, and they raise a bunch of money for a bunch of people who need it. And it is just terrific that they continue to do this, and I really plead with you to keep doing it yourself. All right, so on today's show, we're going to talk about, we've gotten into it. That is just me today. We're also going to talk about George Kirby today and his pretty easily best start of the year. That might be darting with faint praise a little bit. And just a horrific offensive effort. But let's start with George Kirby, because we can just start with the first inning. He gives up the run. He shouldn't have given up the run. And we'll talk about J.P. Crawford in a sec. He was one of the few offensive players who had even a decent game. That play needs to be made. And that run scored should have been an unearned one. The fact they called that a base hit is an example of why ERA should not be trusted. Should flat out not be trusted, because that's absolutely an unearned run. That is an error. That is an error from J.P. Crawford, and J.P. Crawford's defense has been pretty shaky this year. If you take a look at the Savant, it's been real shaky. I don't think it's that bad, but that's a play that your shortstop has to make, and he should have been able to get out of that with just the one run. Now, he's still catching too much of the plate. There are still too many pitches that are just kind of down the middle, and, he's missing his spot still, but it should have been just a inning where he gives up some hits and he gets out of it. He should have gotten out of that inning without a run. Doesn't excuse everything. Command still has work to be done, but the stuff has looked fine in all 3 starts. And I think he did a nice job of bouncing back over those next few innings. Now, also concerning that he takes a ball right off the jaw, as some of you are bringing up. That's, as Pat brings up, they seem to struggle to get the third out. 3 straight hits in the 5th to allow the second run. No question about it. He just isn't fooling hitters quite enough right now. He's not getting hitters to chase the pitches outside of the strike zone. It's the problem with 2 outs that he's not able to get out of those innings. I have a lot of belief that George Kirby's command is going to be fine, and hopefully he's fine too, because that was just right off of the kisser. And I don't think George Kirby's going to be kissing anyone. If he wants to, he certainly can, but I certainly wouldn't want to kiss a dude who just took a fastball off the lips. But hopefully he's okay. I thought he pitched pretty solidly tonight. Certainly better than we saw in those first 2 starts. Worse lineup as well. But I thought it was more encouraging what I saw from him. Let's just continue on the pitching front. I thought that Jackson Kowar did a really solid job tonight. His 2 innings, the stuff looks good. The command certainly has looked better. I thought he did a really nice job. The other 2 relievers did not. Eduardo Bizardo, that home run is huge because it takes a 2-1 game and makes it a 3-1 game. You've got to be better there. That's a fairly high leverage situation, and he did not get the job done today. Just flat out did not. 1 run over an inning isn't a disaster, but it's not good enough. And then Colin Snyder looked really bad today. Really bad today. Any concerns with Snyder, as my good buddy Pat McGroin asks? I'm concerned that he's not a high leverage guy. And I think we were all kind of hoping that Colin Snyder could be a high leverage guy based on what he did last year, right? Like last year, this guy, his ERA is misleading. He had one abhorrent game at the end of the year to take an ERA of like 1.2 and put it up to 1.93. I may be a little off on that, but he ends up with an ERA well below 2 and was one of the most, if not the most consistent Seattle Mariner relievers last year. Now, it was pretty clear the Mariners didn't love what they saw from him in spring training because Colin Snyder wasn't working in high leverage situations to begin the year. He's still not. Down by 2 in the 9th inning is not a high leverage situation. So I believe that Colin Snyder has been better than his numbers indicate, and I still think he's a pretty solid reliever, but you can't trust him in high leverage right now. Can't trust him right now. Yeah, as my buddy Brian brings up, he could be okay, but he could also give up 7. And to be fair, that game he gave up 7 is mostly on Leody Taveras. I will go back and put my claim onto that. A lot of you disagreed. Nope, a lot of those balls should have been caught. Just not a great pitching effort, all things considered. You know, Snyder looked good. Kirby was okay. 5 innings of 2-run baseball is pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. It's an ERA of 3.6 if you're curious, and if you really put everything into ERA, right? But he gives up 8 hits, only the 3 strikeouts. It's certainly the best we've seen him look this year, but it's still not the George Kirby that we're used to. The George Kirby we're used to is one of the 15 or so best pitchers in the American League, and he hasn't pitched like that. Heck, that's probably too low. One of the 15 to 20 best pitchers in baseball when he's at his best. So I did not think he was abhorrent. I don't think this is quite good enough either. I hope that makes sense. And if it doesn't, that's the way why Anders is going to host most of these shows. So let's talk about the offense. Actually, you know what? Before we talk about the offense, I mean, I can't help it, guys. I can't help it. I've just got to talk about my good friends, and this is me not knowing where all the buttons are yet. I got to talk about my good friends at Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder where did all that money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, though. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. It's that convenience for me. Just the fact that I have one app to do everything for me, that's all I want. I'm a simple guy. I like simple things, and that's why I like Monarch Money. The other thing I like about Monarch Money is that if you use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com, you can get 50% off for your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your order. Guys, I'm pretty cheap. I like to save money, and if I can save money with Monarch Money, that's a pretty good thing too. Hey, let's talk about Supply House too, because Supply House gets the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info for help that you can get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? SupplyHouse.com offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, if you use code SH5, you'll get 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. All right, so we talked about the pitching. Now let's talk about the offense. And I will do my best to not make this a 35-minute video, but the offense stunk tonight. Let's give our flowers to one guy today. JP Crawford had a very good day at the plate. Actually, we can give flowers to 2 people. We can give our flowers to JP Crawford, 3 for 4. Much better offense we've seen from him over the last week or so after kind of scuffling towards the end of May. The end of May. That's nice to see. And then Rowdy Tellez, the only guy who provides you any literal offense with that home run. He's up to 9 on the year, 2 260 OBP ain't going to play. 437 slugging percentage does. 437 slugging percentage does. So those guys get a little bit of a pass. In fact, they get a lot of bit of pass, even though Tellez's other at-bats today weren't good. The rest of this offense, now look, Jorge Polanco gets a hit. Julio gets a hit. Mastroboni does a nice job. Pinch hits, gets a hit. The rest of this offense was pathetic. And Tomoyoki Sagano is a pretty solid pitcher. This is a guy who now has a 3.04 ERA and was a guy who got you-know-whatted on quite a bit by a lot of people for coming over that this stuff wasn't going to work. Looked pretty good. Looked pretty darn good. And now the Mariners helped him look good, but this is a guy with a 3.04 ERA on the season. So it's not just a one-off here. Now, 7 innings of one-run baseball is an ERA much below 3.04, right? So he hasn't been this good, but he's been pretty solid. That's no excuse for the Seattle Mariners today. The Seattle Mariners offense today stunk. Julio gets a hit. The rest of those at-bats stunk, a couple of them in very high leverage situations. I'm not going to spend too much time dumping on Big Dumper because he is as good of any player in baseball right now, not named Aaron Judge. He wasn't good today. It's a daily show. I'll just be flat honest with you. Cal Raleigh was not good today. Hit into a massive double play. Didn't get the inning started in the ninth. That leadoff guy, they're down by 4, so I'm not going to go too crazy here. But he didn't get the job done today. Randy Rosarina certainly didn't get the job done today. Did not take that walk-off hit and carry it over into the next day. Cole Young struggled offensively. Did make a nice defensive play today. Ben Williamson struggled. Leody Taveras has been pretty bad with the bat. This is a bad offensive effort. And, it just goes to show you that when Julio and Cal don't get it done right now, this team is just not good enough. And the main reason it's not good enough is because Randy's going through it and Jorge Polanco has just been awful. Like, Jorge Polanco has not just been bad for Jorge Polanco. Jorge Polanco has been bad for anybody. As good as Cal Raleigh has been with the bat, Jorge Polanco has been that bad. He's been one of the worst offensive players in baseball for a long stretch now. Long stretch. Has to be moved down the order. As my good friend, my agent Michael Scarn says, he jumps to the right and he shakes that hand. He jumps to the left and he shakes that hand. And then he tells you the truth that he has to be moved down in the lineup. Has to. Absolutely has to. Yeah, as my buddy Matthew puts it, Jorge has been like the worst hitter in baseball for a month. That's not hyperbole. He has been atrocious. He cannot drive the baseball right now. And whether that's because of injury or he's just not picking up the baseball right now, it's not good. And you have to consider if this is injury related, as many of you have pointed out, and I really appreciate it. And I'm sorry I haven't posted as much of your comments today. I'm really just making sure that I don't screw this show up the first time I'm doing it by myself. There's a lot more to this than there was at my old channel, which was just hit record, hope for the best, little StreamYard logo at the top. Little different this time. I actually have a budget behind this thing. So I apologize that I haven't responded to as many comments as everybody else, but it's bad. It's really bad. And when you have somebody like Harry Ford raking right now, and, Jerry DiPoto has come out and said he's the catcher, he's a catcher. It might be time to make him the DH. It really might be time to make him the DH. Yeah, but like I was saying, it's just when Julio, Cal, and Raleigh don't get it done, you just can't trust this offense. And all due respect to J.P. Crawford, who did a great job of setting the table, this is the problem with J.P. Crawford being one of your better hitters sometimes, because he's just going to single. There's not going to be a double. Every once in a while, like we saw the homer that gave him that 4-3 lead. But he's not going to carry your offense. He's not. He can't. It's not fair to ask him to. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. And we've seen too many of these offensive efforts over the last 2 or 3 weeks now. Got to be better. You got to be better. And this is against a not good Baltimore team. Now, they've won 4 straight. 3 of those against AA Montgomery. I don't count it. I'm sorry. There's talented players there, but this is a team that's on the wrong side of things. And you were thoroughly outplayed today by the Baltimore Orioles. thoroughly. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. And I hope it can turn around quickly, because you can't afford to keep playing like this. You just can't. They all matter. As my buddy Nelson brings up, tomorrow they're going to face Cade Povich. Povich has the kind of stuff that can make the Mariners look silly tomorrow. He does. He also has the command that can, lead to not such great things. But the Mariners have to make that command matter. And if they aren't doing a better job working counts, if they aren't doing a better job of taking advantage of hittable pitches so that Povich has to nibble more, then it won't matter, because he definitely has swing and miss stuff. So I believe he struck out 9 in his last outing, 8 a couple times ago. He's the type of guy who can give the Mariners fits. But this offense right now, anybody can give the Mariners fits. Anybody. And that's not just me being a negative Nancy. That is me being, or Nelly, whichever end you want to use. You got to be better. You just have to be better. I think you really need to win tomorrow's game. And, you can talk to me all you want about how it's early June, blah, blah, blah. A 4-5 homestand or worse is just flat out not good enough. It's just not good enough. Well, that's going to do it for me. Please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe. I appreciate that so many of you came out. I know you missed Anderson's beautiful face. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you are checking us out on Spotify or anywhere you can get podcasts. Watch the replays of the old videos that we've done, all of that good stuff. It was fun doing this. No disrespect to Anders at all. It was kind of fun doing this solo dolo a little bit. And I'll be having to do it again because he apparently is going on vacation or something like that. I don't believe him. I just don't believe 28-year-olds. They very rarely tell the truth. Thank you so much for watching. Not good enough.